Dr. Seth Hornak here, founder of Dr. Seth's line of vitamins. I'm here with Alex Bellinati, my good friend. He's 230 pounds of pure muscle, and he plays football at W&J University. I've known him since he's a little guy, and his dad used to beat me up pretty bad when I was little too, so he toughened me up a little bit. But Alex has been, regular client here, and we kept him really healthy throughout his high school career and also his collegiate career, and he is the starting linebacker now at W&J, so we're excited to have him and get him lined up a little bit. So, all right, any areas bothering you a ton today?
Just the knees today.
The knees, all right, cool. So let's check out a few things here. I'm going to start, we'll just check, see if anything's rotated out of position. So that's a little bit weaker, that's one of the quad muscles. So take your hands, grab your femur, and just kind of twist inward. Now that tightens you up, twist it the opposite way. And that makes you a little bit weaker. So we know we need to twist this femur kind of internally. So I'm just going to turn that in, and I'm going to turn the lower leg in. 70% of the time when people have like knee issues, the upper bone, which is the femur, will twist externally. So typically we always have to twist it in. If you're hurting at all, you're probably going to want to twist this in. And then usually the lower leg or the tibia typically needs turned inward. That's 70% of the time. 30% of the time it twists inward. But in your case, they were both twisted out, so that'll help kicks that quad back on. So we want to make sure you're strong at all angles. A lot of times people get injuries too. You'll see somebody just cut and they blow their knee out, and it wasn't even like a contact injury. And a lot of times, at certain angles, the muscles will be firing properly. Other angles, the muscles will be weaker. So we want to try to eliminate all the weak positions to try to keep the body functioning at its full potential. So that's what we're doing here. We're just doing a little bit of muscle testing to check all these angles out. Pull your heel towards you. These are the hamstrings. That's good. Pull your heel towards you. Good. We'll check the IT band that runs down the lateral leg. I'm going to push up and out. All right, that's good. We'll check another muscle, the sartorius. It's the longest muscle in the body. That's tight. Turn your foot in. I'm going to check this other muscle, the gracilis. Hold there. And that's a little bit weak right there. So the nerve supply comes from this area of the back. So touch right here and push inward towards midline. And turn your leg in. I'm going to push up and out. Hold there. See how that tightens you up?
Yep.
Now come across the spine and pull back this way. You almost have too much muscle to reach back there. I'm going to pull up. So we're going to push it. We're going to push this right to left. So you can bend forward and backward, and then lean to the right and left, and twist to the right and left. This will kick on that muscle group that runs down the lower leg area. All right, let's check this out again now. Turn your foot inward, and I'm going to push up and out. Okay, so that was an example. This muscle was shut down that runs the inner leg. It's called your gracilis muscle, and his vertebrae was shifted to the right side. So we basically had to kick that on in the back area to turn this muscle back on. So that's firing perfectly. So let's check one more muscle. There's a small muscle behind the knee. It's called the popliteus. It's the first muscle that contracts to unlock the knee joint. So turn your foot inward and hold there, and you're good there. So we got all those kicked on. You just had the quad shut down and then the gracilis. So let's check out your left knee. That's good, good, good. Your quads are holding. Let's check your hamstrings in the back. Pull your heel towards you. Those are all good. I'm going to push down and in. That's the IT band that comes down. I'm going to push up and out. Turn your foot in. Hold there. Okay. Bend your leg and hold there. I'm going to unwind. Good. So you're not too many weaknesses here. Turn your foot in. Okay. So this one's weak on the back of the knee, and that's the popliteus. It's a very small muscle right behind the knee joint. It runs at a 45-degree angle from inferior medial to superior lateral, so that would be this position. And I'm going to compress here while we do the range of motion of that muscle. And this is an important one to get kicked back on. All right. Turn your foot in again and hold there. And that kicks it back on. So perfect. Okay. So different things going on both sides, but you get a little bit more shut down on your right leg than your left. So that's good. Bring your arms down. We'll check your rotator cuffs. This is your subscapularis. It relates to your heart. Bring your arms up this way. This is the infraspinatus, and this relates to your immune system. Keep your arms against your side and push out laterally. This is the teres minor. That relates to your thyroid. And bring your arms straight out. This is your upper pec. This relates to the stomach area. And that's showing up a little bit. So the nerve supply comes from this area. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this over. This will help your bench. I'm going to go the opposite way. Not that you need any help, but we want to kick it on and get all your muscles firing here. So we're going to get this turned back on for you. Is that okay?
Yep, I'm good.
A lot of times, yours was more of a structural misalignment, but sometimes it's kind of interesting. Different muscle groups relate to different organ systems. If someone has like digestive issues, let's say they get like heartburn or GERD or reflux, let's say they're drinking coffee or dairy or gluten, when it irritates the stomach, naturally it shuts down the upper pec, so it's going to weaken their bench press, especially like an incline bench. So you kind of have to heal from the inside. So we use something called Power GI that patches the gut wall to help the inflammation there, and we use Power Biotics as well, which puts the good flora back in. 52 billion per capsule, 9 different strands, and there's a prebiotic to kind of to feed the probiotics. So that combination really helps like the digestive tract, people with like heartburn, diarrhea, constipation, irritable bowel, those type of things. But in this case, it wasn't really a digestive issue. It was more of just a structural misalignment in the back area. So, okay, bring your arms up again. I'm going to push up and out. This is on the liver circuit, and that's solid too. So he's good there. Shrug your shoulder up. Put your ear on your shoulder. That's good. Let's check the other side. Those are perfect. Let's check the traps on the back. I'm pushing forward. Those are perfect. And then that's good. So this is weak. This is the lower trap. It's usually like, there's usually tug of war going on between different muscle groups, like the lower trap versus the upper. So this muscle's a little bit weak. That would cause the upper trap to be a little bit tighter. Now, it's pretty cool to find the nerve supply to this. What you do, you just trace a line from the arm the whole way down to the spine, which would be right here. And the vertebrae always shifts towards the side of weakness. So I'm going to push this inward. And this should tighten you up. See how that tightens you? Now when I push it the opposite way, you'll feel probably see how it's a huge weakness. So we want to hammer this right to the left. He's a big guy. It's hard to get through all this muscle, but we can do it. And we'll get him kicked back on. Turn your face to the right. Go back to the left side. Go back to the right. You can bring your arm up. I'm going to push forward, and that kicks it back on, so we kick that on. Put your arms behind your back. You can bend your elbows backward. I'm going to push forward. Okay, cool. You're in good shape there. So we're going to use a little bit of vibration on your knee area. So we're just going to do like kick pulls. Alright, let's try the same thing on the left side. Is that okay for you? Yeah. And I know you have one of these at home, right?
Yeah.
So we love using vibration for athletes. So when you're doing a simple movement like a leg extension or running or jumping, your muscles are supposed to be able to stretch and contract like a rubber band. And in most, if the muscle's firing properly, you can do that with no problem. But with a lot of soft tissue injuries, those muscles actually won't fire properly. So you'll go into a position where, let's say you shorten the muscle might go into spasm or it might go weak. So when you put vibration on the muscle with movement, where you're stretching and shortening it, it kicks on a lot of muscle groups that are not firing properly. What you're actually doing, you're fixing these little mechanoreceptors that are they're pressure sensors within the musculature. So the muscles are always constantly communicating with the brain to tell the proper position. And with injuries, those positional sensors or mechanoreceptors are actually off. They're sending the wrong signal to the brain, so the brain sends the wrong counter signal back down. So when you put vibration on the body with movement, it tends to reset or reprogram those the mechanoreceptors, which is basically the neurology of the body. So vibration's good, but vibration with movement is way better. And it also helps your lymphatic flow, which is white blood cell flow. And one of my mentors, Buddy Morris, he's the current strength coach of the Arizona Cardinals. He was really into vibration therapy, and when I was going down to Pitt and working on a lot of the athletes down there, he would have a big vibratory drum that literally the athletes would use vibration before and after workouts, before and after games. So vibration is a really good tip for everybody. So you can bend your knee up. Is that okay? It's not too much of a stretch.
That's good.
You can bend your knee up on the left side. All right. Bend your knee up here. Now you're pretty meticulous about your diet, aren't you?
Yeah,
What kind of things do you like to eat? Do you feel like really help your body?
Chicken and broccoli is my go-to. I love broccoli, love chicken, love steak. Eggs is a regular every morning. I try to stay away from all the sweets and the junk food
Okay.
for multiple reasons, but A good chicken salad is always a good meal for me as well.
What about the importance of like drinking water and those type of things? What can you tell people about that?
So with water, I've always felt it's very important. Ever since my sophomore year of high school,
Right.
I carried a jug around school with me every day, and that's a habit I've kept in my life. Currently, I still do it every day, and I think I drink about I'd say 1.5 gallons a day. I feel it's
Okay, wow.
important to keep your muscles lubricated, keep your body moving, all that kind of stuff, and it's always been a good thing for me.
Right. You can lay on your side. And we also have Alex taking some minerals as well because as you sweat, and you'll lose a lot of electrolytes. And basically, when you lose your electrolytes, it pulls the fluid out of your body, and it's important to replenish. So we just do like a multi-mineral product. It's a little bit different than a multivitamin. Okay, you can lay the opposite way. But I highly recommend it for especially athletes. They're finding out when your minerals are high, your organs function better as well. So even your heart to stay in good rhythm, they're finding out your minerals have to be really high. So good. You can go face down. I'm gonna lower this for you, brother. Thank you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Is that okay for you?
Yep.
I'm gonna lift up your sacrum. Spin that clockwise, counterclockwise rather. Take a breath in, blow it out. Look upward. There we go. Take a breath in again, blow it out. You can look straight down on this one. There we go. Take a breath in again, and blow it out. Good. Turn your face to the right. Go back to the left side. Tuck your chin to your chest. I've also been noticing if people are more hydrated, they seem to adjust a lot better. Look upward. So our bodies are about 70% water. Put your ear on your right shoulder. And when someone's dehydrated, things kind of don't move as well. They're less lubricated. And I think hydration is extremely important. Put your arms behind your back for all of us, but especially athletes. Put your arms above your head. Now Alex also has one of the most devastating highlight videos I've ever seen in the history of high school football. We'll have to post the link below if you guys want to watch it. It reminds me of the old NFL Crunch course that I used to watch when I was in high school. It was quite nice if you like defensive play. But alright, you can stand up. We'll check your knees in a standing position as well, brother. So you can actually just face that way, that's good. Squat down for me. Come back up. Good, turn your foot outward, squat down, come back up. Turn your foot inward, squat down, come back up. Do you mind facing the opposite way?
Sure. This one?
Yep, that's perfect. You can squat down, come back up, turn your foot out, squat down, come back up, turn your foot inward, squat down, come back up, good. Squat down again, come back up, squat down again. Good, turn your foot outward, squat down, Come back up, turn your foot inward, and squat down again. Good. A really awesome technique that you can do to eliminate knee pain is that, like, if you would go down and it hurts you, typically the quads aren't firing properly when they come down between the medial and lateral and join in the patella tendon. So what happens is if you compress here right above that kneecap and squat, a lot of times it takes a lot of the knee pain away. So if you do that and it takes the pain away, you want to do that about 10 times, and that'll reprogram the nervous system. The body will remember that. So another thing you can do is take your upper leg and just twist it inward, and that might eliminate the pain. If not, twist it outward. And the same thing with the lower leg. But once you find what position makes it feel better, you want to keep doing that for like 10 repetitions, and it'll really help reprogram. So, any other questions?
Nope, no, all good here.
Why don't tell some, because he's like a big time athlete, starting linebacker at the collegiate level, and why don't you tell like the people how important sleep is as well?
Absolutely, I try to get at least 8 hours a day. I found that like you're young, you want to stay up late. And it's honestly overrated. I think going to bed as early as possible is very beneficial, and then waking up at a relatively decent hour is very beneficial. I think also keeping a consistent sleep schedule helps a lot. Trying to get like from 10 o'clock to probably 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. That's like your sweet spot there. You want to stay in that range and keep it consistent and keep getting 8 hours of sleep a day.
What about like partying? When you're in college, there's in high school a lot of people are drinking alcohol, partying, and doing things like that. And how do you think that pertains to like an athlete? And like, what does alcohol do to your system? What's your thoughts on that?
Personally, I don't drink. I mean, I'll go out and hang out with friends and stuff like that, but I've never drank before, and I don't plan on doing it anytime soon. I feel that it deteriorates your muscles, and it just goes against everything you're working for. So like, if you're trying to become the best athlete possible, or you're trying to build muscle, whatever your goal is, alcohol and drugs and things of that nature are going to decline your muscle tone, and it's just going to, in the long run, it's going to hurt your body. Your organs, everything's going to shut down. You just don't want to do that. So that's kind of my motivation with that. Like I don't want to have my body turn into something like that. So I should just stay away from it.
Yeah, because you work so hard, and then alcohol is very catabolic to the body, so it decreases like testosterone, decreases like muscle mass and things. So, I always recommend try to avoid alcohol, if you can as an athlete, especially just because it's really going to break your body down big time, and you're not going to recover as quickly as possible. And there's some other products we use too. I know in the past Alex has used the Power Fuel. And basically that runs the Krebs cycle, which is how you generate like 90% of your energy, which is the oxidative cycle. And they call it like the aerobic cycle as well, or TCA cycle. Krebs cycle is another name for it. And I know we had to memorize the whole cycle and taking biology, being a biology major as well. And there's different nutrients that you actually need to take to generate energy. So you're basically breathing in oxygen and you're blowing off carbon dioxide. So the oxygen obviously comes from the air, but the carbon dioxide comes from glucose, which is a 6-carbon chain. And then you combine one of the oxygens with one of the carbons and you blow off CO2. And that's like a breath. Now you have a 5-carbon chain left. When you do that, when you release that CO2, you produce 3 energy molecules, or ATP molecules. Now you have a 5-carbon chain, which is called ribose. Again, you're combining oxygen with one of the carbons. You're blowing off CO2. Now you have a 4-carbon chain. So anyways, you're just ripping carbons off of different sugar chains, and that's how you're generating endurance energy. So we have a product called Power Fuel Energy that literally has ribose in there, which is the second step of the cycle, and different nutrients that you need to run that Krebs cycle. So it's not it's a non-stim energy. So when you're talking about like pre-workout drinks or different drinks, there are stem drinks and non-stem. So stem means like caffeine, and what those are vasoconstrictors. So before you are running, doing like different football exercises, you don't want your blood vessels to constrict. You want them to increase. You want to increase blood flow, so you don't want to be doing caffeinated products, in my opinion. So this is a non-stem, but it does run the Krebs cycle, which is just sustained energy. So it's a really good, awesome product to have sustained endurance. Doesn't make you jittery, but it really can help your functioning, especially during your workouts and on game day. So any other things you want to share with people, or any other tips that you have that have brought you to the level where you're at?
Honestly, I do want to thank Seth for everything he's done. I've been coming to him for as long as I can remember, and even through high school and college, like you said before, he's helped me stay healthy during the season. I remember during high school, I'd come in every Monday after games and get lined up and get ready for the next week. And like, not only just him working on me, but he's giving me advice on countless things, whether it's nutrition, sleep, hydration, minerals, vitamins, supplements, everything you possibly imagine he's giving me advice on. So I want to thank him for that, and just thank him for this opportunity today.
Awesome. All right, we hope you like this video. We'll promise, if you do like the video, please like and subscribe to our channel, and we promise to give you good, clean content. So thank you so much.